Welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here. I'm Nero. Battlready decks. New feature from the latest update from 1939 games. What is it? Well, if you are new to the game and you want to get competitive quicker, you can go ahead and purchase a Battlready deck. You can still play the game free to play. It certainly can. Takes a little longer, more grinding, more playing to get the wild cards that you need to put together a deck that is semi-competitive on ladder until you get the fully optimized versions later. But for those that are looking to get competitive a little faster, you can go to the shop and purchase a deck pre-built that is ready to play on ladder. So the question that first came up, when they did the kind of spoiler or semi-spoiler, we didn't see what the US version was going to be. So I assumed it was going to be US Frontline, pretty popular deck, played a lot by a lot of new players, but it wasn't. And then when I thought about it, I was like, actually, that's pretty good because the Frontline deck is US and German. And you can get the German deck here. We're not going to go into depth about that because that's going to be a video at a later date. But if you offered the German deck and offered the US deck, both with using German as main for the German deck and ally for a Frontline deck, you're really buying the cards twice. So I think they did a really good service for the customer by saying, hey, if you're buying more than one deck, you're not buying the same cards. They're different cards. So what we ended up with was a US Poland deck, which we have here. We're going to break that down real quick and take a look at it. I will say that for a price point, $20 for a 20 US dollars, give or take, for a competitive deck. Again, it is not the highest level of performance. You can get the deck the shell is largely intact, but it's leaving room for you to add to it and optimize the deck later on. But can you field marshal? That was one of the things I was thinking about. Can you field marshal with the decks that we've seen? I don't even need to play it to say, yeah, for sure, right? It's not that you're buying a pre-constructed starter deck and hoping to do well with it, but it's not the optimized deck either. It's in between. So yeah, any of the decks that I've seen so far in the shop available for purchase would get you to field marshal. And I'll say this too, in full disclosure, I am part of the cards community program. I am not, however, endorsed by 1939. I receive no compensation. I don't get paid by 1939. My opinions are my own. So that being said, let's take a look at the deck. In here we have Duress, Greyhound. We're not going to go, card by card. We're just going to look through it real quick and then see some gameplay. You'll notice on the cadence, it's an aggressive deck, but it's a 2-4 cadence, right? It's got heavier 2 drops, heavier 4 drops. In that 2 drop slot, you have 4 copies of War Machine, and you're trying to get down into these 4 drop slots where most of the power of the deck comes from. So in the early slots, Duress, you're not playing on 1. Greyhound for a 1 drop. PZL P.11, making the other exile cards that are in the deck. It's got some synergy with that, makes them cost less. So a 4 drop is now played earlier. 17th Infantry to buff some cards. Battle MK, giving other exile cards that come into play +1/+1. 142nd Infantry for some healing, some defense. War Machine to ramp. M1 and Duress for suppressing guards or other problem units. Hurricane, buffing other exile units when they come into play. I'll say that one thing I was really happy about in the decks that I've seen, you're not getting junk rares or junk elites in the decks. Pathfinders, SKYTRAIN is used in Frontline. Pathfinders, one of, if not the best, US elite in the game. So I was really happy that the value was there. 2 copies of Devil's Brigade as a special is excellent as well. So good elites, good specials. The M4 Sherman PL is an exile card, as well as the T34, the Yak 9. Hammer Home synergizes with exile as well. Buffing units, making additional copies. Fun to play. I'll say it's a little slow, just a tick slow. So there can be some struggle against hyper aggressive decks, but the deck is well made, well put together. Curve is good, fun to play. We'll get into some game action and see what's going on. We'll do one ranked game. I'm not providing commentary for it, just want to show the gameplay on ladder. But again, I just want to reiterate that it's great value, actually. If you want to play free to play, you can. It's a $20 deck, semi-competitive, or competitive, but just not at the highest level. Compared to other card games on the market, yeah, that's fine. But, prices relative to the person that's consuming, I think it's, very, very well priced for the quality of the product that you're getting. Anyway, we'll get into some game action. Thank you for being here. Stay safe. Be well.